Okay, good evening, everyone. We are so excited to be here tonight. And for those of you who are following us from whichever platform, whether you're within StreamYard or you're watching us from LinkedIn or Facebook or Instagram, hello, welcome, and thank you for taking the time out to be with us tonight. Now, we've got a lot to cover for this evening's webinar, so we're going to go right in. Welcome to Fashion Evolution, Empowering Conscious Closet Confidence. And today we're here to discover 5 styling secrets to save money, time, and the planet. So let's get straight to the point. Why are we even here today? Why are you here joining us for this webinar? Well, I'm going to assume that all of us love fashion, okay? You might be a student, you might be an educator, you might be a professional, or you're simply a fashion enthusiast. Whatever it is, you love fashion. At the same time, you are also well aware of its negative and damaging effects. Now, these things just cannot be ignored anymore. In fact, I'm going to take the chance to remind everyone that we picked to do this webinar today specifically because it is the anniversary of the tragic Rana Plaza collapse that happened in Bangladesh. For those of you who are not aware, back in the same day in 2013, one of the garment factories in Bangladesh collapsed, killing over 1,100 people, mostly women at that. And that is when Fashion Revolution was born, actually. And we are doing this within Fashion Revolution Week to show our full support for this organization. So we do not accept this kind of sacrifice. No to losing more human lives, no to exploitative labor, no to any of that. Now, we're also very well aware of fashion's negative impact on our environment, whether that's in terms of waste, in terms of sacrificing biodiversity, or in terms of overconsumption. And that's something that we as consumers are directly involved in. So here, this is one of the very many infographics that Fashion Revolution provides us with. So again, as you can see, they're visual, they're very straightforward, they're very informative. And the truth is, once you're aware of these things, you can't just sit and pretend that you don't know them. These things make us very uncomfortable. And yes, they do beg the question, well, what can we do, right? Because everyone is part of this and everyone has a role to play. We're also here because, yes, we love fashion. Yes, we are aware of its negative impacts. And most importantly, we want to know how we can do something right now. Now, a lot of you here are probably already aware of the many ways that we can be more sustainable. The problem is when we talk about sustainable fashion, there are a lot of barriers for most of us. A lot of the times it's related to the price points when we talk about sustainable clothing, clothes that are produced with organic cotton or certified sustainable in different ways. So this is one. And so we want to say, well, yes, but there are other ways of doing this. And we want to make sure that the solution that we offer you is something that's going to excite you, something that's going to motivate you, something that's going to make you feel empowered and not make you feel like, oh, I can't do that right now. Okay. So according to the founder of Fashion Revolution, Ursula de Castro, fashion has the power to change people's lives for better or for worse. Choose wisely. And tonight we're doing just that. We are choosing wisely. We are choosing to be on the side of people and the environment. So, very quickly, this is what you learn. You learn how to view your body differently, okay? Just like any skill, personal styling starts with our mindset, okay? So, Sarah is going to tell us how to do this exactly. We're going to bust some common myths that we have about personal styling, okay? And finally, you are going to be able to optimize your closet after hearing some of the tips that Sarah is going to be sharing with you today. Now, with all these learnings, what do we promise? What are you going to be walking away with from this webinar? Well, the direct and immediate results are, first of all, you're going to be saving money. Okay. Rediscovering the wealth in your wardrobe, just like I did, means never ever having to think you have nothing to wear and therefore you need to go out and buy. Number two, you're going to be equipped with basic styling tips, okay? Tools that are used by professionals that will help you feel confident, because a lot of us think, well, I'm not sure if I'm doing the right thing. I don't want to step out there and make a fool of myself, which is why we are giving you this guidance, okay? And number three, of course, very important, you're going to be able to do both these things and save the planet at the same time. So, I mean, that is a win 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 situation, right? Okay, so just very quickly, you might be wondering, okay, who are we? Why are we the ones talking to you about this? For those of you who don't know me, my name is Alexandra Ganzon. I'm a certified communication coach. So I have also worked in, prior to becoming a communication coach, I was working in fashion for over 10 years. And that is why this is a topic that is very, very close to my heart. And I went to Polymoda Fashion School. And with no further ado, I am very excited to introduce you to my very special guest, Sarah, who's going to be introducing herself as well. So let's bring her up. There we are. Hello, Sarah. Okay, Sarah,
Hello.
why don't
Hello,
you tell
everybody.
everyone about yourself? Yes.
Hello, everybody. Hello. Thank you, Alex, for having me. Thank you for asking some time ago, a few weeks ago, to be part of this project. As you have
Yes.
mentioned beautifully, we are proud to support today Fashion Revolution Week. Today is the last day. It's starting on the 15th. So from the 15th to the 24th of April this year, 2024. And I try, honestly, with you to support this movement every day,
Yeah.
personally and professionally. But of course, being part of the movement in this very important week, it's an extra plus for me, right? So again, thank you for
Absolutely.
having me, and thank you all of you for listening to us. So I like introducing myself as a style interpreter. What does it mean? I help my lovely people, the individuals, as you have done already, and I'm very pleased I could help you with that. So I help regular people, regular individuals, interpreting themselves into clothing. And that's the freedom, and that's the extra mile when it comes to choosing what you want to wear, to express yourself, to express your identity, and to stop buying just because something is trendy or someone else has bought, that specific piece, and you think that you should buy it as well. So you take action. And fashion revolution is all about actions, isn't it? Any kind of evolution, any kind of revolution, it's based on taking action, being active as citizens, as fashion consumers, as potential activists. So I've been working in fashion for a long time, for more than 10 years, and I got quite a few qualifications. One of those comes from the London School of Styling a long time ago when I moved to London a long time ago. I am originally from Italy, half Italian, half Egyptian, and interpreting my own roots, my own heritage. We've been through that, Alex, with you when we
Yes.
worked together. Acknowledging who you are, starting from the beginning, right? From your background, from
Yes.
your family. It's very important. So that's why interpreting and style interpreter, because I try to help, people stop thinking that they can't wear certain pieces just because they potentially, I don't know, they don't have a certain shape. I'm sorry, it's not even a shape. It's a shape. It's a size,
Mhm.
but they can free themselves by this kind of narratives. It's a process. It does
Yes.
take a few weeks, some time. It
Mhm.
could be longer, someone else. But you see the beauty when you start being more conscious is you start seeing the signals
Right.
straightforward, positivity, around you straightforward.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you, Sarah. So I'd say let's dive in directly because that's what our listeners, our participants are here for tonight. Let's dive into your expert styling secrets.
Ooh. Yeah,
Get
let's
ready
get
to take notes.
started. Absolutely, absolutely. Can you please go back to the previous
Oh,
slide?
sure.
I just want to
Okay,
say thank you very much. So I
you're
really
welcome.
like the fact that in here we have anything we need. Seriously, because in one word, which is style, and everyone, how many times, I've been told, well, Sarah, I don't have any style. I just go for comfort. I don't even know where to start to build it up, to
Right.
create a style. I just choose what is easy for me and what makes me potentially, sometimes make you feel comfortable is just unfortunately hiding yourself. So you don't
Yes.
go for comfort. That the narrative is I go for comfort, but deep inside is a way of hiding. Why
Yeah.
should we hide? That could be the first question, right? So in this
Yes.
style acronym, we have everything, at least from my personal perspective, we can go for to start building up a more approach, sustainable approach,
Mhm.
responsible, ethical, all those kind of concepts, fashion revolution, and any kind of movement in the fashion industry against somehow the fast fashion try to move forward. So we should actually be strategic with our choices, as you can see for S, for strategic color and pattern play,
Mhm.
choosing according to our needs, not just randomly, and waste. Because if you don't choose accordingly, you waste your time and money, and you don't wear
Yes.
potentially what you have, and the planet it's not he's not happy with your choices. T for thoughtfully accessorizing. Accessories are extremely important. We need to hold them. We need to carry, them, especially bags, backpacks. They twist up a lot any outfits if we know how to use them. Why for your undergarment investment? I know that for some people it might sound a little bit subtle what you're talking about undergarment. So you tell me which kind of underwear or bra should I
Mhm.
wear? Yes, not because I want to be quite, I don't know, whatever, but it's because everything starts from that. That's the layer number zero, I would say, not even layer number one.
Okay.
Anything you wear on top of that is going actually to look different according to your garments, underwear,
Right.
undergarment. L for layering, we will talk about that. Layering is absolutely amazing. It's one of the best way to be sustainable with your choices. E for last but not least, effective midsection solution. I always, I quite often call it the midsection issue. because
The issue. Everyone's issue.
everyone, almost everyone, it doesn't really matter your gender, but it's because Western countries, especially Western countries, people, try to put on weight in that kind of area,
Right.
right? So now we
Yes.
can yeah, see how we can start using potentially these 5 tips to be more conscious. We'll see.
Okay, great. So let's get started then.
So, strategic color and pattern play. Look at this beautiful woman I had the pleasure to work with. Very interesting hairstyle, very interesting way of layering. You have 3 layers, and actually, she was wearing more than three. The 3 layers you see. So, this beautiful lady, Carol, actually, she can combine. Let me say the art of layering and playing with colors and patterns. So why vibrant colors, are quite interesting um, because everyone has a different skin tone and everyone is different. Thanks God, everyone is unique. So choosing the right colors, despite of the natural ones, the ones almost everyone go for, gray,
Mhm.
beige, white, off-white, and black, the king of the colors, right?
Right.
We might, with the king of the color, we might actually understand through a color analysis, for instance, that wearing bold colors might help us to feel better more than look better, to embrace somehow part of our personalities. So you don't have to mixing and matching animal print and a bold, affair in red. Carol is a quite extreme, maybe sometime, but you can start step by step. So you can start with the colors, for instance. So colors are extremely important to stop thinking that you should go just for one thing. Keep buying the same things, over and over. And then you have a wardrobe full of the same colors, full of the same pieces. You have the same blazers, 10 blazers, one color. You keep
Right.
buying the same blazer. My question is, why you go for the white or a natural tan, whatever blazers, if you already have 10 blazers, almost the same shade? You know what I mean?
Okay.
So
Yes.
going for different colors strategically and patterns can just guide you to buy strategically according to your taste, according to your skin tone, according to your body shape as well. Because colors
Mhm.
and patterns can embrace your body shape as well. That's extremely important.
Right. Sarah, in your experience, because I agree, I mean, a lot of us have very either neutral tones or just we stick to the classic or safe colors, so to speak, right?
Yeah.
And that
Yeah.
ties in with what you were saying earlier. Sometimes we equate being comfortable with hiding ourselves. And I think we do that with colors too, because when we do want
Yeah.
to show up, then we put on bold colors, right?
Absolutely. But sometimes bold colors can help the other way around. If you we don't, I mean, there's this idea that bold colors makes us more visible. That's not really the core of the how can I say, of the discussion. It
Okay.
depends on which kind of shade, for instance, right? Because that
Right.
specific shade of red does work beautifully on Carol's skin tone. But I
Okay.
promise you, I don't usually go for that shade of red. I go for a deeper. I'm an autumn lady. She's a
Okay.
winter, right? So we belong to two
Right.
different seasons, right?
Okay.
So although I go for a quite bold color, but I will pick the right shade. So shades are even more important than the colors themselves.
Okay.
Every skin tone has a different shade for each color. So
Wonderful. Great.
it wouldn't look too much, because your
Okay.
skin tone can support it. You know what I mean?
Right.
It does support that specific shade of red, green, blue, whatever.
Okay. Amazing. So, I mean, that in itself, just being able to say that red doesn't necessarily, this color doesn't necessarily make everyone visible, because it all again depends on our, or on our color, on our tone, on our everything. That to me is a huge eye opener in itself. Okay,
Exactly.
let's move on to the second tip.
Accessory, yeah, accessorizes. So, as I told you, they are great. As you can see, this lovely lady again. If we want to start, how can I say, labeling, even if I don't like this, I don't like label anyone. Anyone should be labeled. Just to make it easier, for the listeners.
Okay.
Jane, this lady, is a pear shape, so
Okay.
she goes a little bit wider on the hip area, and you can
Okay.
easily see. But the way we decided, to style that specific occasion, it was
Mm-hmm.
her friend's birthday party. So the
Okay.
pattern, the fact that the pattern just it stick on the middle section of the dress, it does actually, how can I say, it does help her body shape to flatter better in terms of proportions, because the attention has been driven to this kind of part, the middle,
Okay.
part of the dress. And also we decide actually to emphasize the shoulder, the shoulder area, to rebalance
Right.
again body, the body structure. So, and we added the hat again to add a
Okay.
little bit of volume on top of the body shape. Da 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 da. All the proportions are balanced right now, just using the shape of the dress, the little bit, to squeezing, this beautiful, really beautiful waistline she has, and then the funky leather jacket and the hat. Game is over. Instantly, the combination looks perfect. And by the way, everything, I'm not joking, everything came from her wardrobe. We didn't buy
Wow.
anything. Quite rarely.
Amazing.
I don't go shopping with my clients. This is the magic. They say, oh, you're a magician, because there's this idea the stylist, bring people to spend money. So they think this is one of the most important misconceptions, I
Right.
struggle with all the time about my job. I rarely go shopping with my ladies and gentlemen, just because they already
Mhm.
have a lot and they don't need it. So all this
Right.
kind of pieces, they were already there, waiting for something. Waste of
Waiting to
time
be
and money.
rediscovered. Yeah.
Exactly. That's it.
Okay.
So why she? Okay, perfect. Now we have, the undergarment investment, which is extremely fundamental. So we start from zero, from level zero, let me say. And as
Okay.
I mentioned earlier, anything you wear on top of what you're wearing next to your skin is going to change its shape according to the shape itself of your undergarments. So
Okay.
you better go for a proper undergarment, session, styling session. I always start, even if they don't know, my clients, they don't know what is going to be about, or they don't pay for that. It's in the package. So
Right.
we start understanding where the underwear should sit, where the bra should sit, where the kami should sit, which kind of fabrics, which kind of colors.
Okay.
Why this is really important when it comes to your fashion choices? Because A lot of people stop wearing what they already have in the wardrobe. I'm not joking, because they try these dresses, these pieces with the
Okay.
wrong undergarment, and the
Okay.
outfit looks awful. But it's not the
Right.
dress, it's not the piece itself,
It's the
it's not that.
undergarment. Okay.
It's just
Yeah.
because the undergarment is wrong. Not
Okay.
itself, but just doesn't flatter their body shape. Simple as that.
Okay. Well, I
So
love
they keep
how you, yes. And you're
they
right, Sarah. I mean, I love how you chose the word investment here, because it is an investment at the end of the day. I mean,
yeah,
I feel like
yeah.
a lot of us, me included, okay, in the past, it's like I didn't really want to spend for, expensive or top quality undergarment, because my reasoning was, well, that's the part that isn't seen. I mean, that's just the part that I wear
It
under.
has.
So
Oh, oh yeah. Oh yeah.
so exactly.
You
I mean,
see.
when you put it that way, it's layer zero. It's what comes in contact with our skin, and everything else we put over it will be influenced by that. Then that changes everything completely.
I'm not joking, Alex, but I've seen. Let me say people, okay, with the quite good balance, with quite
Okay.
balanced proportions. When I look at the world, I look at the people and the individuals. I don't care beauty, non beauty, thin, not thin, no. For me, proportions wise.
Okay.
So I've been through, what they were wearing, and proportion wise, I can say amazing. Unfortunately, everything was wrong in terms of how they chosen to
Mhm.
not elevate, unfortunately, what they already have naturally.
Okay.
Choosing the wrong length of the skirt, for instance, or the color, or where the belt was sitting,
Okay.
or the bra was completely not right for the shape,
Okay.
you know,
Okay.
and or the under. How many times you see the underwear underneath the elasticated bands, or you have
Right.
like, well, they sit not where they should because the waistline is higher or it's lower. I mean, no.
You're right. I mean, they are. We tend to us when unless we go deeper into it, we tend to neglect these details, but they do make a difference. So it's like, why would you
They
risk
do. They
an
do. They
outfit
definitely
if
do.
exactly? So yeah, we need to start investing in our undergarments, people, in the right undergarment.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, this is what I love it. But some of my clients already, I mean, they started a long time ago, call me the queen of layers and
Okay.
the queen of layering. And I'm very proud. I've been into
Yes.
layering since I remember, honestly, even before
Okay.
moving to London. And in London, because of the crazy weather, I had to refine, the art
Even
of
more.
layering. So, yeah, because the weather is crazy. You have 5 seasons in half an hour. So if
Oh
you
gosh.
don't layer,
Okay.
I mean, and I'm not British, so I'm constantly cold. They're not cold, generally speaking. They wear, they wear super thin clothes. I don't, So I feel the cold. I feel, I need to put layers. Anyway, so layering. So let's start with layering doesn't make you bulky and doesn't make you look bigger if you know
Okay.
how to do it. If you know
Okay.
how to balance the layers. But again,
Okay.
I'm sorry to go back to the core. you know, and you can refine the layering mastery, you know, the layering art, if you know your proportions and also the colors, because you can play with different shades. So the layers, you know, can play beautifully according to the shades as well. So it's all
Okay.
connected. Start acknowledging your body structure and the colors, you know, you should prefer according to your skin tone. It's called a tone,
Okay.
sorry. Starting from these two main concepts, you can build it up whatever you want. So, for instance, kimonos, the scarves, you know, scarves are amazing, are very versatile and
Right.
timeless. You can go for a colorful scarf, you can go for designer scarves, you can play with scarves, you can
Right.
make different layers, you can wear two scarves, you know, at the same time. You can play with kimonos and cardigans, you can layer them. As you can
Right.
see in this picture, have a gilet, quite
Mm-hmm.
straight. Then we
Okay.
have a trench coat on top.
Right.
This lovely lady, Camilla, this was one option, but another option was like wearing the gilet on top of a coat, just to
Oh,
make, you
okay.
know, the
Okay.
interesting. Right? And why? Because the coat was a little bit tight
Okay.
on the bust, you know, but because of the weather, it was still
Right.
winter. We thought, let's layering up with this straight gilet. As you can see,
Mm-hmm.
you can tie it, so
Right.
she avoids, you know, the not button, you
Yeah.
know,
Right.
moment.
And the whole wobbly look that we were all trying to avoid.
Exactly. Coat was a designer coat. It was still new. She has been, you know, kept the coat for a long time in the wardrobe.
Okay.
We try to use it back. That's the
Okay.
way.
Amazing. And you know what, Sarah? I remember this was actually one of my questions, my primary questions when we worked together. I said, I need to learn how to layer because coming from a tropical country where basically we wore the same things 360 days uh, the all year round, moving to Italy did present its challenges because I had no idea how to layer. To me it was like, okay, in autumn and winter I just need to put on heavy fabric, but I didn't like how I looked. I just kept looking bulkier and rounder, and I said, "There's got to be a way to do this." And so this is definitely one of the things that you taught me, and I'm really excited. Also, because for those of us who are for those of you who are listening in and who'd like to be able to express their heritage and their culture more, this was something that Sarah really helped me because I have a lot of accessories and pieces from the Philippines, whether they're made of natural banana fabric or all our natural fibers, which I didn't know how to incorporate in the colder seasons because I said I'm gonna look crazy because then I'm gonna put this on and I'm gonna freeze to death and then I'll put a jacket over it. So layering is a really good solution to be able to show that part of you, your background, your heritage, because again it just takes a little, it's an addition to what you're already wearing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
All right,
Layering is
Sarah. Yes.
no, no, no. I mean, I remember what we have been through, you know, with you, and I remember the layering thing, and but it's something that I try to help all my clients with because unfortunately, there's all this kind of bad ideas, you know, about layering. Sarah, it does make me, you know, bigger and showing up too much, or not showing up. Sorry, it's the other way around. They use the layering to hide, not to
Okay.
embrace. It
Right.
should be a way to embrace, actually.
Yes.
your
Yes.
whatever.
Okay. Lovely. Before we move on, Sarah, I just want to say hello to some of our participants who are actively engaging in the chat. So I see Beatrice Johansson. Hello. She says on Saturday they're
Hi,
celebrating a
Beatrice.
spa day, and this stream will
Hi,
be
Beatrice.
perfect. Yes. And then I also see Susie Velasco. Greetings from Germany. Thank you so much, Susie, for being here. I see Emily Coyne. She says super interesting. And hello to Steffi. My good friend Steffi is also here with us. Okay,
Hi, everybody.
lovely.
Thanks for being here.
Okay, so let's move on to possibly the one that everyone, this one expert advice is useful for all of us because we're all, we all find that midsection a little bit problematic at some point.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, the effective, the midsection issue, I like to call it,
Mhm.
because it's seriously an issue for many people. It has been,
Okay.
it used to be an issue for me when I was younger, when I didn't have any clue about body proportions, body shape, how to acknowledge, my body structure. I've been
Okay.
one of those people thinking I should fit into that size because if I do
Okay.
that, I'm worth it. I'm cool. I'm part of the crew. I was in my
Right.
teens, was even in my 20s, and I stopped wearing, I haven't worn jeans for such a long time, for 15 years, because jeans
Wow.
were wrong. And
Okay.
I loved, I've been loving, jeans since I remember. Why I'm telling
Okay.
you that? Because jeans, it's one of the best examples to talk about the midsection, solution, issue, and finding solution. There's
Okay.
nothing wrong with the jeans 90s style, 80s
Right.
style, rise, low rise, mid rise. It's just finding the right rise according to your body structure. And then here we
Okay.
go. How you can flatter your midsection. So for
Okay.
me, I prefer to embrace to flatter my midsection going
Mhm.
for high rise trousers.
Okay.
So I go for high rise and I tuck it in. But let
Okay.
me be honest, high rise, anything you're wearing. So in here we have Tiziana, the beautiful reddish Tiziana, and Paula,
Mhm.
the beautiful Paula. Paula was very, very concerned about the
Okay.
high rise because she's
Okay.
a more round shape and she has kept thinking if I go for high rise, I will look somehow bigger. And I was like,
Okay.
listen, if you catch preferring, if you go for low rise or mid rise, you will cut your midsection. You will
Okay.
not flatten the midsection. The midsection
Okay.
means that if you want to flatter it, you should actually try to go upper all this area and try to make your waistline sit on your belly button. That's your
Okay.
guideline where the belly button sit.
Okay.
Potentially try to make your waistline sitting there or going a little bit above. In that way, the how can I say that the proportions will give you
Yes.
that kind of negation instantly. It's visual.
Right.
Also, if you combine the tacketing, it does work even better. So let's put it this way. If you have a volume on your midsection you're not happy with, because potentially you put on weight on your belly area,
Okay.
or because you are going through menopause, for instance, or perimenopause, which is a very, challenging moment where women tend
Absolutely.
to put on weight in that area. Why should
Okay.
you add extra volume on an area that does have extra volume already? So that's
Right.
why I reckon to tack it in instead of just wearing something on top, because you add a volume on top, and a volume in that specific area you're not happy with. You should actually take the volume off, not add an extra volume. It's quite mathematic, isn't it? We try to
Yeah, but
take it
that
off.
is super
Ah,
interesting. Yeah, Sarah, because you're right. I mean, and again, I see a lot of people, and again, myself included, when I do put on weight, that is the tendency is to just try and cover that midsection area, right? By adding more
exactly,
layers, what you
exactly.
said, not in
But
the right way.
exactly,
And then in
that's
the
the
end, I
point.
just
So
feel like the Michelin mascot, because it's just, it just gives a more a rounder look.
yeah, yeah. But anyway, it's a way of it's a it, how can I say? It's something that we have been taught since we were kids. What
Right.
I've noticed, many, especially women,
Yeah.
I've been told, Sarah, high rise makes me feel older. It does remind me, my mom,
Of the
my
mommy jeans.
auntie.
Okay. Right.
It's
Yes.
monkey, it's not chic, it's not feminine, it's not sexy, it's not whatever.
Right.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry, but it's not really the case. High rise it does make almost any body shape looking better. I promise you. Chicer and also more feminine.
Lovely. So that is a very, very helpful tip for everyone here, regardless of your body shape. I mean, you do want to take note of this because, again, it's one of those things that just does not occur to us as regular consumers. Because let's face it, apart from what we've been told growing up, it's also the whole communication and marketing around fashion. Again, it's just
Yes,
not
that's the
representative
one,
of
baby.
real shapes.
That's the one.
Exactly.
Thank you for mentioning a very important point. Thank you. Marketing and communication. That's the one.
So really, I mean, discovering your personal style requires that shift. It's us being able to say, okay, you know what? I'm not going to listen to any of you anymore. I'm taking control of myself, of my body, of my image, and I'm going to trust my intuition in expressing who I am through my fashion choices, through what starting with what I already have in my closet. Okay, so uh, this is our last tip because we went through STYLE acronym. So if any of you have any questions, maybe if you have questions now, then do feel free to type it in the chat. If you don't have any questions now, but something comes to mind later on, then please go ahead and leave a comment on the post of the event and we will respond to you at a later point. So just feel free to do that. We really want you to make the most out of this webinar because it is something that a lot of us struggle with. And we think the answer to feeling better is buying more or buying something new. And that's something that we're trying to bust tonight with this webinar is we all have more than what we need in our closets. We just need to learn how to optimize them. And Sarah is a great
Yeah.
person who can help us with that.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you very much.
you're welcome. You're very welcome. Okay, so that was that. All right. So, folks, if any of you are interested in learning how you can work with me, these are the different services that I offer. Again, I am a certified communication coach, so I can work with you either one on one, and I also offer small group coaching and workshops, and I also do speaking engagements. And here you have the different ways of how you can reach me. And this is Sarah. Okay, go ahead, Sarah.
Absolutely. So I'm extremely happy. You would make me happy if you would like actually to work with me. I do one-to-one personal styling and group styling sessions. I work with private and corporate, and I do speaking engagements as well. I do webinars, I do talks. So I try to be very. I try to make, this is my, my dream. I try to make fashion um, understandable as much as possible, because I'm very tired of listening to all these stories about fashions in terms of fashion is too complicated, sustainable fashion is too expensive, sustainable fashion is blah 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 blah, all these narratives, going back to what Alex has just said, talking about the marketing, the communication. People, listen, there's a lot of marketing communication wrongly, used, let me say, about sustainable fashion. Sustainable fashion is not expensive if you start wearing what you already have in your wardrobe. And I will keep saying what also De Castro said, and it's the core of my mission as a style interpreter working consciously in the fashion system. It's not expensive. It's if you know where to find it, and if you start from what you have, or if you go shopping with an intention. And
Mhm.
hopefully these 5 tips, can help you to start having, this kind of mindset. I'm on LinkedIn, and here is my profile. simastylist@gmail.com is my email, and then please feel free to check on my website and Instagram as well, Sima Stylist London. That's it.
Okay. So, if we hope that you did learn a lot from this webinar, Sarah and I were very excited putting this together. Again, this is our genuine support for Fashion Revolution. For those of you who'd like to get to know more about Fashion Revolution, then do visit their website. There are many ways in which you can get involved. This is for everyone. Again, you don't have to be in fashion to be part of Fashion Revolution, because this revolution is collaborative and really is inviting everyone to take part in it. If you did enjoy this webinar and you found it insightful, then we would really, really love your feedback. So I've included some prompts here, since we are in the age of AI and everyone's talking about prompts, just to help you think of what you might comment um, in terms of feedback. So, hopefully, since we talked about mindset and insights, what did you realize about yourself as you were listening to tonight's webinar? Uh, which insight did you find particularly eye-opening? Again, Sarah mentioned quite a number, and if we are not in this field, we normally wouldn't know these things. So they are real game changers. How do you feel after this webinar? We're hoping that you do feel some form of transformation, whether that's in terms of how you see things or how you even feel about your own body and how you feel about your wardrobe. And finally, which styling secret will you be trying out soon? As Sarah mentioned, this is really about taking action. So we don't, we are happy to share knowledge, but really what we're after is you taking action right now. And everyone's got clothes in their closet, people. So there is no excuse. You have to be able to do something right away. Okay. Sarah, any last words from you before we close tonight's webinar?
well, feel free to get in touch with me, with us. Actually, we are quite open, to share our tips, our feedback, our anything can help you to start being more conscious when it comes to fashion. Of course, Alex from a different perspective, me from a styling perspective. But please stop thinking, if you have been thinking that way, that fashion is something complicated, something just for not for everybody, but just from some, and it's not. It's too far away. Fashion is there, and fashion is powerful, and fashion should actually empower ourselves every day.
Absolutely. So just before we close, I just want to acknowledge some of the comments. Susie says, thank you for your time in the hacks. Thank you, Susie, for your time as well. And Beatrice says, I think the strategy is good because not so often do I plan before I visit the store. And I used to wear for my color tone. So there you go. Very immediate feedback, Sarah. And I'm really happy to hear from you all. Steffi says, I have a bracelet, the bracelet that I gave her, and she loves wearing it so much. Not sure if she's wearing it correctly style-wise, but I wear it with love. That's the most important thing, Steffi. Again, there are no hard and fast rules when it comes to personal style. It really depends on who you are and how you want people to see you. Okay? All right. So with that, we again want to thank everyone for taking time to be with us tonight. This has been wonderful, and this will be on our feeds. So if you would like to see it again, feel free to just jump back into our feeds, connect with us if you're not yet connected with us, and we will definitely let you know the next time that we do come together for another webinar. All right. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Sarah. And I wish you all a very good evening.
Thank you very much. Bye.
Bye. Bye.
See you soon. Ciao.
Ciao.